Okay, how's it going? We're going to talk about a very interesting mushroom. The mushroom's called chicken of the woods. And in eastern North America, there are two common species of chicken of the woods, and that's Lettoporus sulphureus and Lettoporus cincinnatus. And the species that I came across was Lettoporus cincinnatus. And I ended up collecting this mushroom and taking it home with me. Actually, I ran into a friend and I ended up going to his house and we made a meal with this mushroom. And before I go into talking about how we went about making that meal, I'm going to talk a little bit about the mushroom itself. This mushroom is parasitic and saprobic, which means it lives on living and dead trees. It's normally found growing alone and can be found in the summer and the fall, and rarely found in the winter and the spring. It can grow up to 60 centimeters across, which actually makes this mushroom very easy to spot because of how large it is. This mushroom creates root rot, so it's normally growing at the base of a tree or from the roots of a tree, which actually helps tell the difference between the other species, Lettoporus sulphureus, which actually grows on dead logs or well above the ground on stumps and trees. It has a white rather than yellow pore surface, and the caps are fan-shaped and irregularly lobed. In color, it's a bright or pale orange, but the color fades with maturity or direct sunlight. And this specimen actually was an older specimen, so the color of this mushroom was actually quite pale. This mushroom is thick and soft, and it's full of water when young. And as the mushroom ages, it actually becomes tough and rigid. So I found this mushroom growing at the base of an oak tree, and my initial goal was just to harvest the outer layers because that's the more edible side of the mushroom. But I didn't have a knife on me, so I ended up actually ripping the whole mushroom out and taking it home with me. So on my way home with this mushroom, I actually ran into a friend and another variety of edible mushroom. The species of mushroom is called Armillaria malea, also known as the honey mushroom. And I did harvest this mushroom, but I do not plan on eating it, but I did take it home with me for learning purposes. I may do a video on this mushroom, I have not decided yet. So I ended up getting to my friend's house and we decided we were going to prepare this mushroom. So the first step I did was cutting the good flesh away from the meat, and the outer layer of this mushroom is the more edible part because as the mushroom ages it becomes hard and the other part of that becomes non-edible. So I chopped away all the good parts of the mushroom and tossed the rest of the mushroom away. The whole mushroom itself weighed about 7 pounds, and when we were done, maybe we had about 2 pounds of edible mushroom. So I gave the mushroom a really good rinse, and then I started to chop the mushroom up into small strips. And you can see why they call this mushroom chicken of the woods, because when you chop up this mushroom, it resembles chicken. So we started to heat up a skillet, and we put about a teaspoon of some non-dairy butter and added some chopped peppers and let that simmer for a bit. And then we added the chicken of the woods mushroom. And we sauteed that and we covered that for about 15 minutes. The mushroom really sweats out a lot of its water, so it simmers in its own water. So about 15 minutes later, we actually served this mushroom up with some couscous that we also made. And it tasted really good. Some people say it tastes like lobster, some people say it tastes like chicken. I feel that it has its own flavor, so it's very hard to explain that flavor, but it tastes really good to me. But yeah, the meal was fun to make, and we documented to share, and it came out really good. Thanks for watching.
It still tastes like a mushroom.